Beginning, arrival at the alien palace. I never imagined my life would take such an extraordinary turn. My name is Commandant Alex Rayner, and I had spent years navigating the politics of human colonies across the galaxy. But nothing prepared me for the alien princess of the system. She was known for her icy demeanor, a matched strategic mind, and deadly command of her palace. Few dared approach her, and even fewer had survived an audience unscathed. The mission was simple, or so it seemed. I had been sent as a diplomatic envoy to discuss trade agreements and interstellar alliances. The palace of the dynasty loomed above the frozen plains, an architectural marvel carved from crystalline ice that shimmered beneath the twin suns. Upon entering the grand hall, I noticed the delicate elegance of her silver hair cascaded like a frozen waterfall, and her pale skin almost glowed under the ambient light. I had studied her profile extensively, reading every report and treaty regarding her temperament. The briefings made it clear: do not cross her, do not speak without purpose, and under no circumstances display aggression. I thought I understood her. I thought she was untouchable, her cold exterior impenetrable. I was wrong. Mida, the triggering event. The audience began with polite formalities. I addressed the council, acknowledged, and offered our terms. She listened silently, her gaze unwavering, her expression inscrutable. Then, one of her advisors, a sly, humanoid named, made a stratagem. "Surely, Commandant Rayner, you are not so bold as to think humans understand the ways of the," he said, a smirk tugging at his lips. I chose my words carefully, offering a neutral response, but my tone must have carried a hint of irritation. Eyes flicked to me, a single brow raised. "Commandant," she said, "was like ice against steel. Do not presume to lecture me." I froze. Everyone in the room knew this was a dangerous path. And yet, I felt an unexpected surge. Years of frustration, injustice, and the subtle manipulation humans had endured under alien politics rose to the surface. In a split second, I realized I would no longer restrain my feelings. I slammed my palm on the crystalline table. The sound echoed, a violent note in the quiet hall. The council froze. Eyes widened, not in fear, but in disbelief. "You there," she hissed, her voice both furious and incredulous. "How dare you, human?" "I dare because enough is enough," I said, my voice steady, carrying a power that surprised even me. "You may think humans are fragile, harmless. But you misjudge us, and me, in particular." A tense silence fell. Then she stood, her chair scraping the floor with authority. The room seemed to tremble as she moved toward me, every step commanding attention, yet she did not strike. She wanted to see the extent of my resolve. "You will regret this," she warned, her silver eyes glowing with icy fire. "I will not regret speaking the truth," I replied, my voice echoing across the chamber. The wrath unleashed. At first, it was subtle. I could feel the palace itself responding to my emotion, a ripple across the crystalline walls, a tremor underfoot. The advisors whispered among themselves, unsure whether to intervene. Hands glowed faintly with an energy I could not name. "Stop this," she commanded, her voice a weapon in its own right. "You do not understand the forces you challenge." "I understand more than you think," I shot back. And then, for the first time, I felt the human wrath fully awaken inside me. A surge of energy, not psychic, but raw determination, radiated outward. The crystalline walls shivered, the guards staggered, and the council's murmurs turned into guests of astonishment. Eyes widened. She had seen humans in battle, humans as diplomats, humans in strategy. But she had never felt the force of pure, embroidered human wrath. I took another step forward. I am not harmless. I am not weak. And I will not bow to intimidation, threats, or arrogance, no matter how powerful the alien claiming to rule this palace may be. For a moment, the entire hall fell into stillness. Then, one by one, the palace defenses activated, not against me, but seemingly in response to my energy, resonating as if the very structure acknowledged a new authority. Conflict, the princess realizes her misjudgment. Or a flood, a blinding mixture of frost and light. How can you wield such power? She whispered, stepping back, her usual composure shaken. I wield what I must, I replied. I wield what I need to protect myself, my people, and now my dignity. The advisors tried to intervene, forming a protective ring around the princess, but their energy pulses faltered under the human force radiating from me. Expression shifted, astonishment replaced fury, admiration replaced disbelief. You are not like the others, she said softly, almost to herself. You are something else entirely. Yes, I said. I am human. And humans are not to be underestimated. Resolution, a new understanding. As the initial storm of confrontation subsided, lowered her hands, letting the glow of her power fade. The tension in the room shifted from fear to respect. She studied me, a new depth in her eyes, when I had never seen before, a mixture of curiosity, recognition, and perhaps acknowledgement. You have survived the first trial, she said. Most who dare defy me fall under my control or flee in despair. Yet you stood, unwavering. I stood because I had to, I said. Because no one can respect a ruler who cannot respect the ones they claim to protect. Her lips curled into a faint, approving smile. Perhaps you are more than a human. Perhaps you are the partner I never expected but always needed. The advisors remained silent, realizing the dynamic had shifted irreversibly. Icy demeanor softened, not entirely, but enough for a human like me to see the possibilities. We were no longer ruler and subject. We were two powerful beings, learning to navigate trust, authority, and connection across species. Later, as I walked the corridors of the palace with her, the air seemed lighter, the icy walls warmer. The wrath I had unleashed had not destroyed the palace, nor had it harmed the princess. Instead, it had forged a new path, one where human determination met alien majesty, and both adapted to each other's strength. For the first time, allowed herself to smile fully, a gesture rare among her kind. You have changed my perspective, she admitted. I underestimated you. And I am impressed. I am more than impressed by you as well, I said, feeling a connection that transcended words, species, and power. Together, we could face anything, even the galaxy itself. And so, the cold palace, once a symbol of icy perfection and untouchable authority, became a place of unexpected alliances, mutual respect, and the delicate forging of a bond between a human and an alien princess. A bond born not of submission, but of recognition, courage, and the unshakable force of a human who refused to be underestimated.